So next we have Dr. Claudia Tomadoni from the International Research College Argentina, Cono, ARCOSUR, and the Friedrich Schiller University here in Jena. She will be speaking in Spanish and I will be translating for her.
Okay. Good morning, buenos días. En primer lugar, quiero agradecer al profesor Benno Berlin por la invitación para participar de este prestigioso evento y comunicarles el saludo de la profesora Claudia Hammerschmidt, impulsora del Centro Merian CALAS desde la Universidad de Jena. Mi nombre es Claudia Tomadoni, trabajo junto a la profesora Hammerschmidt y coordino el Centro CALAS Cono Sur y el Centro ARCOSUR de la Universidad de Jena.
So good morning to all those present. I thank Professor Dr. Benno Berlin for the invitation to present the Maria Sibylla Merian Center for Advanced Latin American Studies, CALAS, at this wonderful and prestigious international conference. And I want to convey to all of you special greetings from Professor Dr. Claudia Hammerschmidt, promoter of the CALAS Center from the University of Jena. My name is Claudia Tomadoni, and I work with Professor Hammerschmidt as scientific coordinator at the ARCOSUR and CALAS Cono Sur centers that she directs.
El Centro CALAS es parte de una red internacional de centros Merian fundados por el Ministerio Federal de Educación e Investigación de Alemania con el objetivo de estrechar la cooperación científica con muchos países en diferentes regiones del mundo.
The CALAS is part of an international network of Merian centers in the humanities and social sciences, funded by the German Ministry of Education and Research, in order to strengthen scientific cooperation with one or more countries in the different regions.
La fundación de CALAS en 2017 fue el resultado de esa iniciativa del Ministerio Federal por crear centros de estudios avanzados en humanidades y ciencias sociales en América Latina. El CALAS es un consorcio formado por universidades latinoamericanas y alemanas. Entre ellas se encuentran la Universidad de Guadalajara en México, la Flaxo en Quito, Ecuador, la Universidad de Costa Rica en San José, la UNSAM, la Universidad Nacional de San Martín en Buenos Aires, Argentina. Los socios alemanes del proyecto son las universidades de Bielefeld, Kassel, Hannover y Jena.
So the founding of CALAS in March 2017 was the result of that initiative by the Federal Ministry to set up a center for advanced studies in the fields of humanities and social sciences in Latin America. The CALAS is a university-based center founded by a consortium of Latin American and German universities. The University of Guadalajara in Mexico, the Facultad Latinoamericana de Ciencias Sociales, Flaxo, in Quito, Ecuador, the Universidad de Costa Rica in San José, Costa Rica, and the Universidad Nacional San Martín in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The German universities are Bielefeld, Kassel, Hannover, and Jena, and they are responsible for project management.
La dirección, gerencia y administración de este centro fue diseñada de manera multilateral. Esto es muy interesante porque supone órganos compuestos por una junta directiva, un management y un comité asesorado por un comité científico a partes iguales. La idea de un centro pluritópico hace de que CALAS se organice en 4 centros regionales.
The direction, management, and administration of the center was designed in a multilateral way between Germany and Latin America, and is made up of a board of directors and a steering committee. The center has a scientific council in which leading experts in Latin American studies are gathered to offer the center academic advice. So CALAS, as a pluritopic and joint work institution, is organized by regions and each of them is administered by co-directors.
Estos son los principales centros que impulsaron el proyecto desde Alemania. Y esta es la forma de trabajo bilateral y también multilateral. Esta idea está presente en todo el proyecto. La sede central del CALAS se encuentra en la Universidad de Guadalajara y tiene 3 centros regionales. Uno en Centroamérica, otro en Andes y otro en Cono Sur y Brasil, que aseguran una cooperación en múltiples direcciones, y eso hace que el impacto de CALAS sea en toda Latinoamérica.
So, the main headquarters of CALAS are located in Guadalajara and are three affiliated regional centers located in Central America, the Andean region and the southern cone with Brazil, in cooperation with partner institutions and thereby strengthen the impact of CALAS throughout Latin America. These are the centers in Germany. And you can see the ties between the German institutions and the ones in Latin America. Okay.
Uh-huh. Estos son los distintos centros y las distintas instituciones que colaboran, y como centro de estudios avanzados se aplica un enfoque histórico, decolonial y científico en un diálogo transdisciplinario y transregional. ¿Sí? La idea es trabajar de manera transdisciplinaria.
Okay, so these are the centers and institutions that collaborate in Latin America, and the intention of CALAS as a Center for Advanced Latin American Studies is to apply a historical and decolonial approach to this work, and transregional as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Veamos un ejemplo de cómo funciona y del cual somos parte de la Universidad de Jena. El Centro Regional Cono Sur tiene un epicentro que es la Universidad Nacional de San Martín en la provincia de Buenos Aires, no en la capital, sino en la provincia de Buenos Aires, y se dirige el centro de manera conjunta, de modo tal que la profesora Claudia y la profesora Luciana Anapios, en partes iguales, dirigen el centro. A su vez, hay un equipo que colabora con la dirección y tenemos un comité académico conformado por profesores de ciencias sociales y humanas en la Universidad UNSAM.
So we are now looking at an example involving the University of Jena. So the southern central cone has its epicenter at the National University of San Martín, which is located in the province of Buenos Aires, so not the capital, the city itself, Buenos Aires, but the province, and is in a joint collaboration with the University of Jena. And it is jointly co-directed by Luciana Anapios and Claudia Hammerschmidt, and the activities are coordinated with a work team and a scientific council of professors and social human sciences from UNSAM.
El programa de investigación, este es un programa largo de 2017 a 2029, es la planificación, tiene como tema afrontar las crisis, perspectivas transdisciplinarias desde América Latina. La investigación transdisciplinaria que plantea CALAS se trabaja en todas las sedes, y la idea central es cómo las crisis y los procesos de crisis aparecen, se aceleran, se desaceleran, se perciben, se reflejan por diferentes actores en Latinoamérica. Hay 2 preguntas centrales. ¿Qué estrategias surgen en ese proceso desde los distintos actores en múltiples crisis? ¿Y cómo pueden ser mejores y más efectivos nuevos enfoques transregionales? Y para ello se necesita diálogo y comunicación.
So the current research program of CALAS, which started in 2017 and goes until 2029, so it's a long-term program, addresses the topic coping with crisis, transdisciplinary perspectives from Latin America. So this transdisciplinary research, in all its regional centers, focuses on critical questions about how crises and processes of change are variously triggered, accelerated, slowed down, perceived, and reflected by different actors. So within this framework, the two central questions that guide the research are, first, what strategies for dealing with crisis at multiple levels arise in the process? And secondly, how can new approaches to problem solving, including trans-regional approaches, be made more effective or institutionalized?
Preguntas como estas que acabamos de escuchar se trabajan a través del concepto de crisis en 4 bloques. Un primer bloque que estudia visiones de paz, transiciones entre violencia y paz en América Latina. Un segundo bloque que es confrontando las desigualdades en América Latina, perspectivas de riqueza y poder. Un tercer bloque que comienza ahora, que es sobre antropoceno en múltiples crisis, sustentabilidad global, y 4, identidades regionales en múltiples crisis. Estos grupos de trabajo trabajan de manera interrelacionada y tienen 2 ejes transversales. Uno es teorizar las crisis y otro es estudiar a Latinoamérica en la sociedad global de conocimiento y el aporte que se puede hacer desde Latinoamérica. Por eso estoy hablando en español.
So the kinds of questions that we have been talking about will be explored in the context of the overall research matrix of CALAS, which consists of 4 separate but strongly thematically interrelated groups or blocks. The first one, as you can see, is Visions of Peace, Transitions between Violence and Peace in Latin America. The second one is Confronting Social Inequality, Perspectives on Wealth and Power. Third, the Anthropocene as Multiple Crises. And fourth, Regional Identities in Multiple Crises. And in turn, these research groups are complemented by 2 conceptual transversal axes that run through them. Okay, so the first one is a theorizing crisis, the one at the top, and the second one is Latin America in the global knowledge society. So although each regional center is responsible for its theme and its scientific management, they all participate in an interrelated manner based on a collaborative, critical, and decolonial research model.
Para desarrollar este ambicioso proyecto de investigación, CALAS ha ideado diferentes formatos de investigación. Laboratorios de conocimientos que incluyen fellows, eventos académicos, cine documental y áreas creativas, plataformas para el diálogo, academias de posgrado para jóvenes investigadores, tándem transatlántico de becarios, cátedras visitantes en el caso de Cuba y Brasil, también una academia que anualmente se realiza aquí en Alemania. Durante todo el año de este periodo 2017-2029 hay llamados a convocatorias abiertas para participar en todos estos formatos y están todos ustedes cordialmente invitados a participar.
So I forgot to say that because of this approach that she was explaining, collaborative, critical, and decolonial, this is also why she's speaking in Spanish to you. Now, to develop this ambitious work plan, CALAS proposes different research formats, such as knowledge laboratories that include fellows, academic events, documentary films, and creative areas. Also a platform for dialogue, a postgraduate academy for young researchers, a transatlantic tandem between fellows, and a program for invited researchers, both fellow, senior and junior fellows. Also guest chairs, for example, Cuba and Brazil, the Academy Weingarten in Germany. And throughout the year, there are calls for participation in these research formats, and you're all welcome to participate, to take part.
Y por último, hemos realizado desde CALAS múltiples eventos, ya tenemos publicaciones como los ensayos propios CALAS, también tenemos una línea editorial con Claxo, somos socios con Claxo y tenemos publicaciones. Y muy interesante, hemos sido institución reconocida dentro de UBIAS. Somos el primer centro latinoamericano de habla española dentro de UBIAS, que es un centro de estudios avanzados. Así que bueno, si toda la información de CALAS la pueden buscar ustedes en www.calas.lat o en nuestra página ARCOSUR de la Universidad de Jena. Allí están publicadas nuestras convocatorias y les repito, están invitados a participar.
So in summary, to finalize, CALAS has already held various events, has numerous publications. This includes its own publication, the essay CALAS, and it's done in line with another partnership, for example, with CLACSO, which is the Latin American Center Council for Social Sciences, and has been installed as a recognized institution, for example, by the UBIAS, which is the University-Based Institutes for Advanced Study. So if you're interested in finding out more, you can consult these two websites, either the CALAS website or the one of the ARCOSUR network here in Jena. And again, you're all very welcome to participate and collaborate with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think this is a wonderful example of how the impact of culture can transform the funding system. We met in 1998 and 99 in the house of Werner Reimarsch in Bad Homburg, funded by DFG, the German Research Council, the Ministry, and Alexander von Humboldt. And we gathered there people from India, Japan, Africa, Latin America, on the topic, the future of area studies after the cultural turn. And the idea was how to reorganize knowledge production and knowledge stocking after the end of colonialism. Because also in the German system, even not being a colonial power, you have a lot of South Asia institutes, Africa institutes, and so on. And they were collecting knowledge of other parts of the world, but not making a disposition of the people of that regions. So it's an implicit colonial structure. So our proposition was, after 3 meetings, that these institutes have to be opened to the people from the regions, but especially that the future is not happening in Germany anymore, but it's funding institutes in the regions of study in cooperation with German partners. So giving up the colonial or the imperial European structure of knowledge production. And the interesting part is it took from 1999, where we made the recommendation, until 2016, when it started to be implemented and started to work in 2019 or something like that. So it took 20 years from the idea to the implementation. So that's the institutional rhythm of change. But
thank you very much.
It's an interesting case. So culture is at the center of this, the cultural turn for the reorganization of knowledge production.
Thank you.